Appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely, dude. It's kind of weird because my camera from my computer is up here. Let me change it. Maybe I can make this look better. All right. Let's see. All right, I think this works. How's it look on your computer?
Yeah, it looks good on the computer.
It's good?
Looks good.
All right,
awesome,
cool.
man.
Let's get it.
Ooh. Yeah, so super excited to talk with you, man. Been waiting to do this for a bit, and yeah, we're just less than a week out now from our event, so looking forward to sharing the stage with you, man. I know you're gonna bring a bunch of value, and we got a bunch of people coming, man. So I'm excited, man. It should be a good time.
Well, let's flip the script. What's got you most excited about your event?
Man, really just having it all come together because it's I don't want to say be done with it, but it's a lot of work. Yeah, I'm just happy it's almost here because it's I always underestimate how much work goes into putting an event together, and it's always like a lot of uncertainties. I don't know if what if something goes wrong, but it's everything's been going real smooth and real grateful. So yeah, I'm just really excited to kick it with everyone. Excited to learn myself from all the awesome speakers we have, and excited to network and meet some new people and get on stage and give some value myself.
Bro, you have a great lineup coming to this event. A great lineup coming to this event, man. So you did a really good job on freaking getting the right people in that room. The people that actually show up, get a ticket. Do you have a link we can pin?
Yeah. Let me grab it real quick.
Yeah, because people that are going to show up to this, dude, this is going to be a really good event, man. San Antonio's had some great events. This is going to be right up there with those. This is going to be great. You got some really good keynotes. Some guys that are going to really crush and add some value.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Yeah, I'm surprised we were able to get so many. It's I almost don't know how we're going to fit them all in one day, but I know we're going to get it done. So it's my wife Bree, she's the one who makes it all happen. So
it's gonna be one of them 8 to 8s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, let me see. I think I could just grab that pen and boom. All right, got the link pin. Very good. All right, brother, let's get it. Let me wave to some people. What up, people? What's going on? Kai, what would you say your specialty is for my followers that are on here?
Man, I guess that's the tough part for me. I don't know. So I mainly just do wholesaling. We do virtual wholesaling. My background is sales and marketing. I've done that since I was a kid. Literally since 18, been doing sales. I'm really good at that. Really good at thinking outside the box. I should have a specialty. I think really one of the things I'm doing that's a little bit more unique than other people is the stuff we're doing with AI. So at our event, we're getting ready to relaunch our CRM. We've had a CRM company for about a year, but we built a badass AI bot that uses ChatGPT-4. And I've tested it against other ones out there. I've had a bunch of other people test it, and we have a few clients using it now, like for the soft launch. And it's badass, man. No one's been able to trip it up. It's literally like I get surprised by all the shit it can do. Like I had someone message me the other day. I'm like, oh, I didn't know your bot could speak Spanish. And I'm like, man, I didn't either. So
that's cool. Yeah, that's freaking cool. What are some of the lessons you've learned from planning this event, man? Because I remember last year I thought about doing one myself. I got about a month into it, and I was like, I'm fucking out of the event space.
Yeah,
I got out of it before I got into it. Yeah. What's the things you've learned from this one, bro? Because I'm curious to see how you feel about it.
Yeah, so this is our second big one, and we did a handful of smaller ones last year too. And literally exactly like tomorrow. So we did on the 15th of February last year. So it's almost exactly a year later, we're doing our next big one. So this one, it was probably the same lesson on every time. Just I'm grateful for my wife. We work together, and if you guys ever read, if you guys are familiar with like integrators and visionaries, like I'm definitely the visionary. I come up with crazy ideas and say, hey, we're going to do this. And sometimes even overcommit and get overexcited about things. And she's the one that just makes sure it happens and, makes it all work together and deals with all the people. So really just, having that teamwork and that partnership, knowing our roles, is just definitely something I'm grateful for and a lesson I get reminded of all the time. And I'm really grateful that we have that.
Dude, that's dope. Yeah, that's something that I try to speak to people about now. Is EOS and traction and rocket fuel.
Mm-hmm.
It's a book that I read, but I never quite found my integrator until about 6 months ago. I found my partner Jesus, and we have rocket fuel. We just have rocket fuel. Sounds like you and your wife have that, which is freaking awesome. I know it's not easy working. Well, actually, I don't know because I don't work with my wife. How is it working with your wife?
So it's been a journey, man. Before we did, yeah, it used to be real hard. So I've been an entrepreneur since I was 23. So about 3 years after I sold my business and exited with my partner, he bought me out, and she was starting her own business. I didn't have anything to do at the time. So she just left. She's like, I'm gonna try the entrepreneur thing. So I just jumped in to her business because I didn't have anything going on. And she felt a certain way about that because she thought maybe I didn't believe in her. Just, I just thought and just wanted to jump in and get going. And so we didn't set roles. We didn't have boundaries. We didn't know about visionaries, integrators. We didn't really know about any of the stuff that I've learned the hard way over almost a decade of being an entrepreneur. So it was a shit show. Yeah, it didn't work out well at all. We ended up getting to a point where, we had completely different visions for the company. She wanted to help small businesses and help women-owned businesses. And I wanted to go after car dealerships because I started selling cars into the industry, and I knew I could make a lot of money doing it. And she didn't want that. So we ended up getting into a big fight over it. And we ended up starting rival marketing companies because we didn't want to work together. But
that is hilarious.
Yeah, so it's probably about 5 years. Took about a good 5 years to before hey, we'll try it again. It's when I got into wholesaling, and then she still had her stuff going on, but she started helping me more and more. And then we learned all this stuff through reading EOS and reading Rocket Fuel and Traction, and get into that, and reading trying to blanking on the other book. There's another great book, not written by Wickman, but by someone else. But really kind of getting into that and trying to learn how businesses actually operate and starting to think of it as actual business. And then we found out, we had different roles, and we actually set roles, got on the same page, had the same vision, and it's been night and day different.
Wow. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, working together, not knowing about the EOS, not actually having the labels and the org chart, etc. And then getting to that point, you probably look back wow, I was a freaking idiot.
Yeah.
trying to run a business without using EOS.
100%. Yeah, no, definitely grateful for a lot of the things I've learned because, my first business didn't have core values or just hire anybody who wanted to work for me. When you start to implement those things and you actually start to treat it like a business, it's a game changer, man. So
let's go down there. What are some of your core values?
Yeah, so mine are ownership, integrity, discipline, giving, growth. Before I never had those, or wasn't aware of them, and I wouldn't really filter people. If someone wanted to come work for me, I'd say, oh great, come on. I'm just happy that someone wanted to work for me. And it wouldn't work out. I hired the wrong business partners, hired the wrong people. I was doing well financially in my first business. I was 23. I was making over $500,000 a year, but I was super out of shape. I was 70 pounds heavier. My relationship with my now wife was awful. Every other part of my life sucked. And I was anxious and depressed and just wasn't doing good. And once I actually started to implement those things and actually start to work on myself, it was complete game changer, man.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, I ask people about core values a lot now because over the last 6 months, I've truly identified mine. I've actually hired 24 people because of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that has really driven culture out of our business. Whereas before, it was something you put on the wall, something that you did because it said you're supposed to. And you read the book, okay, we'll do that. And the business coach said I should get core values, etc. And so I think a lot of people fall into that category more than living by them.
Mm.
So some of our core values, I have them written on my whiteboard here: celebration, commitment, customer obsession, loyalty, speed, continuous improvement, backbone, which to us means, disagree but commit. Those literally how we live every day. Every day we try to do things as fast as we can. We get obsessed with our customers. We commit to things. We're loyal to each other, right? We love to celebrate. A lot of people see my Instagram when we have our guys locking up deals, right? They're spraying I got one right here. They're spraying the money gun, right? We got the cool stuff going on. Everybody likes that stuff here.
Yeah.
it actually attracts our next hire. Right. So every time somebody sprays the money gun, I get another person that reaches out to come work for me. Like, oh man, you guys hiring? And I'm like, dude, we're fully staffed, brother. I wish that I could bring in some more of you guys, but we just can't. Right? We just can't. So it's really cool to have core values that really align with how your company's ran. Like, especially like celebration's a fun one. We just have fun. Like, I don't know if you've seen this one the other day.
Nah.
I wore
that's badass.
Have you seen Squid Games?
Yeah. Okay, it's a Squid Games mask.
It's a Squid Game dude, right? And so I was like playing with the thing, and I'm like, let the games begin. Right? I was like, today's challenge to lock up 3 contracts in the state of Texas. Right.
That's
and
awesome.
So like we just have fun inside the office, and then we celebrate when we get those wins, and it truly like carries the energy throughout the entire office to our whole sales team.
I love that, man.
Just both sides sees it and they have fun with it. Right. And so it's if you really live those core values, man, you'll attract the right people and you won't have that turnover that really plagues entrepreneurs.
100%.
Bad hiring and that's like the worst thing that can happen is bad hiring and turnovers. So
for sure.
I've noticed that as a massive problem for people.
It is, for sure. Even like in my personal life, it's been a big game changer because, just knowing like who, like before there'd be like somebody, I'm like, there's something about them, I don't like them. I don't know what it is about it, but there's like some weird thing that I don't know why. I'm like, I'm not vibing with this person. But once I identify my core values, it's like, oh, so they don't operate with integrity, or they don't, they didn't do what they said they were going to do, or, they don't seem like they're a giver. And it's just so much easier. Like my brain just wraps around it. And it's like, okay, next I'm going to find people who do match that.
You're like on a whole other vibration than them.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, it's a game changer, man. But I love that, man. I think that's a big thing a lot of people don't do is what you mentioned is like celebrating their wins. And it's something I struggled with for a long time, but you really do have to celebrate like what you want to see more of.
Yeah. We even have another one. We got the money button in here.
Ooh.
Every time somebody drops like a killer line, like when we're doing like objection training, or somebody drops like some good wisdom, or somebody overcomes a problem. Okay, this is something that we do to, hey, no, hit the button for that one, hit the button for that one. Like people get it, and it's something that just creates the vibe and the culture here. And when people visit our office, they feel it, or they come in and they feel it. And they love being here. One of my content creator, he comes here and he's like, every time I come to your office, I close a deal. It's like I close a deal every time I come to your office. I'm like, I love it, dude. All of our sales guys are in person here.
That's great.
Yeah,
I feel like you can't buy that, man. It's energy is contagious, and it's when you get that right energy going, it's so much easier just to get shit done and to stay in a good headspace.
Sweet. How long have you been married?
So we've been together since we were 18. But yeah, we've been married we've been together the whole time. But yeah, it's 2018, so 6 years, I guess. Yeah, 6 years this year. Nice,
dude. That's incredible, man. That's pretty cool. Yeah, what are you doing for Valentine's Day tonight?
It's kind of a day. We're just probably gonna hang out at the house. Her dad actually passed away when she was a kid on today, so it's kind of a weird day. So we don't really celebrate too much, but yeah,
not much.
Chill.
Yeah, that's no good. That's no good. 2 schools of thought. That's a rough day for you, right? But also, you save a lot of Hallmark money every year.
Yeah, that is true.
2 schools of thought. It's like you gotta be a different supportive today.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a rough one. All right, cool, brother. How long have you been in San Antonio?
So I've been here almost 3 years. So yeah, we've been in Texas. I'm originally from Boston, and but yeah, so we've been in Texas. We moved to Austin for 2 years, and then we moved down here like 2.5 years ago.
Nice.
But I love it, man. No, it's a cool city, man. It's it's crazy being in a big city, and I love it, man. Definitely, city grew on me right away, and didn't know there's so many things I didn't know before. I didn't know about how good Mexican food was. I didn't know about queso. Didn't know about brisket.
I didn't know brisket or queso. That's funny, dude. The big city's not for everybody, right? I love it. I'm from Cleveland originally, so like I love the big city. I grew up catching the bus and seeing the buzz of the city. And then I joined the military, and like I was living in all these small towns all over the world. And I'm like, I'm glad to be back in a city, man. I live in Dallas
Mm.
Fort Worth now, and I love it here. Barbecue is good, like you said. So it's really nice to live in the big city, man.
100%. Yeah. I think probably my favorite thing, though, in all seriousness, is just like being around. There's so many entrepreneurs and so many other givers and so many people like doing cool things. Like back where I'm from, most people aren't doing much. Most of the people I grew up with just aren't really living life like how I want to live life. So I feel like moving, starting over a new city was just huge for me. Just kind of have a fresh start and really get to cultivate the community and the people I want around me.
Hell yeah! All right, so what should people look forward to? Let's change gears back to the event. What should people look
Yeah,
forward
man.
to at your event?
Yeah, I think it's just a lot of networking. Maybe learn a bunch of stuff. I mean, we have literally people talking about subject to seller financing, commercial, land deals, find distressed deals. And I talked with Logan Fulmer yesterday. He's kind of going over what he's going to be going over. But really, just a wealth of knowledge. And like everybody I invited to speak is a go giver. They match my core values. They're all people that I've heard speak or I know personally, I'm friends with, that I know actually give value. It's not fluff. It's just real tactical stuff you can take home with you and you can start closing deals. Because the game, I mean, it changes. I mean, you have to, I was talking to somebody the other day just about how you have to always be willing to pivot in real estate because things do change and you really want to make sure you're having the most current information and that you're building relationships with people so you can hear what's going on with them. So I think, man, it's really gonna be a game changer. And man, I'm super excited to hear you speak. I've got to hear you speak before too, and at Wholesale Live, and you're one of my favorite speakers at the event, man. You gave a bunch of value. What are you going to be talking about?
Sorry, I got a couple flips going on. It's freaking contractors calling me. Sorry.
You're good.
Fix that. Awesome. So you like what part about the Wholesale Live speech did you like a lot?
Man, I just thought it was tactical. I mean, I like tactical stuff. I like that it's actually value. Someone can go home and apply that and go to their business. And, for me, I just wasn't spending enough money on marketing. So it kind of hit me. I'm like, okay, that's, one of the areas is, I should be putting more money aside for marketing. So, I mean, sometimes it doesn't have to be some big profound thing. A lot of times, a lot of things, like when I go to an event, what I do is I try to find a couple of gold nuggets, like 2 or 3 things at the most that I can take home and apply. Because if you try to take it all and try to do it all, you're probably not going to get far. Because I've been to a lot of events over the years, and it's really when I just think, hey, these are the problems I have. This is what I'm trying to solve, and I look for those things. Like somehow it's like going to church. I feel like that message is always kind of when I know what I'm looking for, kind of always get that right message at the right time.
Yeah. Couple things. One, I have fallen in love with marketing over the last 6 months. Because I was really deep into sales. Like a lot of people know me as like phone sales dude. Over the last 6 months, I really got deep in marketing, and I love it. I'm having a lot of fun with the different marketing channels that we're using. And the advice that I gave at Wholesale Live was directly related to like all the marketing channels that we were using and how we were effectively getting deals in the right places for the right price, which is like not a very stimulating conversation, but the people that know what they're looking at, like somebody like you is like, hey, I spent a lot of money in marketing, and like that was some very good tactical advice. That's the advice I'm trying to give people these days. One, where should they be marketing? Where should they be spending their money on their leads? What kind of process they should be following? What kind of extra strategies that they have? What's the operating model? How to truly be like a young CEO in this industry and build a real business around this stuff? Because we have a lot of people that maybe look like they're doing 30 deals a month, but it's a one-man band. It's just not true.
Right.
And so I really like to just expose people to what it really looks like to run a big team and a big company. What I think are, as far as like some of these other enterprise companies that we're small, right? But as far as a wholesale business, we're a pretty big business right now.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool to be able to share that with people so they can see what right looks like. One of the things we do our trainings is like, how can I expose my leadership team to people as much as possible so that they can see what a good hire looks like? That's like one of my big things that I love to add value to people right now is like, look at our dispo manager. This is what your dispo manager should look like. Here's what our app manager looks like. Here's what our ops manager looks like. Like, this is what your COO should look like. This is what you should be doing as a CEO. Like, that's where I'm going to come and drop game at the event to show people exactly what right looks like inside these businesses so they don't continue to just build companies the wrong way or build them how what they think it's supposed to look like because they saw somebody that has a little bit of success.
Yeah. No, honestly, being a business owner for a while, it's like the most frustrating thing is making the wrong hires and spending all this time and energy, and then you take time and energy from some of the other stuff, and it's it's frustrating because you're spending all this time and then they don't work out, and then it just feels like you just wasted a month or however long it took to get them out of there, and so I think that's super valuable, man. I think that's gonna be that's stuff people need to learn. Again, it's not the most exciting thing, but it's definitely something people need to know.
But I like giving real game, and so like you hire somebody new, man. You put time into them, training, resources, money. Like you really pour into them, and then for them to leave in 60 days, like that can destroy parts of your business. Right? So it's really tough. It's a hard thing to do. I don't think anybody's really good at hiring. I think that some people might think they're good at hiring, but no one's great at it. Right? If you're half decent at it, you can do really well. And like I would say we do a pretty good job of it. My whole team is actually, that's why I wanted to go live on Instagram with you, because I'm like, Instagram is really where I have my sphere of influence, where most of my following is. I hired everybody through Instagram.
Really?
Or referral through Instagram. My whole team, my entire team, all 20 people that work here, 20 plus people that work here, through the whole team through Instagram. And I don't know if everybody's social media will work the same way that mine work, because I just literally get on there and share game, drop like real stuff every day on my Instagram, and like I think people are attracted to that.
Yeah.
And so the people that are on my social media just believe in our product and believe in our company, and so when they reach out, it's because what they saw on Instagram. I've never done an Indeed ad, never hired a company to help me find somebody. Right, all through Instagram and a referral through somebody on Instagram. So the power of social media is real, bro.
So what does that look like? So you're making a post? Is it a story? And then are they just sending you a DM? What kind of walk us through what that funnel looks like, or that hiring process?
Yeah, like whenever here's what's cool. Whenever one of my guys locks up a deal, right? Let's spray the money gun, right? And immediately I'll get 2 people apply for a sales job. So what does that tell me though? That they match my core value of celebration. Right. So immediately I'm hired. The interview is at least starting out on the right foot of you matching the core value. Right. Now for the rest of the interview, as I look at, okay, I send them the link to fill out the job form for the application. How fast do they send me the resume? Speed is another core value. Do they send it immediately? I'm like, hey, this guy's celebration, speed, right? He's starting to hit a couple of these core values. And so from there, we'll do like, a couple different interviews, a couple different ways. Sometimes we have them come into the office immediately. Sometimes we'll do a Zoom interview just depending on our schedules. And that'll let us know, like, do they match their core values? Is this somebody that I can get along with? What's their other expertise? Because I also don't like just hiring somebody that doesn't have another skill set, right? So, but that's the process. Basically, I'll make a post, or someone will see an action that's taken from our Instagram and reach out. They fill out the form, and we check off core values.
That's great, man. No,
but the skill set side is, man, hiring people that have these different skill sets. Our sales manager, she was a realtor for 4 years. She has all that experience. Very successful realtor for 4 years, multiple years. My COO and partner, right? He has a lot of corporate experience, tons of dude's resume is amazing, right? Just Six Sigma certified. Ran multiple divisions at Citibank as a vice president of risk management. So like, dude knows how to run virtual teams. Our operations manager, right? She basically runs a small call center for us at this point. And then thirdly, our director of dispositions, she did, I think, just under $3 million in novations at the last company she worked at. Wow. And so when we were able to hire her, like, completely changed our business. And so like some people are like, oh yeah, we do novations, et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, pretty sure my dispo manager's done more novations than you.
Yeah.
Right. And she's really good at sales. And then the workforce, right? We've got people that worked at other great companies before. We've had people that have run other people's companies before, like as operations, and then they're in our third line. And so we've just been able to put very quality people in positions of leadership and hire very quality people to lock these things up and sling them.
That's badass, man. So how did that look? So since you had like an executive team, did you start hiring? Like, what positions did you start hiring for, and when did you start hiring those like higher up in the company roles?
Yeah, sales,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we had Dispo fired up with our director of disposition, so she was going to run the whole Dispo thing. Then I just started. How can I copy and paste as many sales guys like me as possible?
Mm-hmm.
But how can I get guys that have other backgrounds to add more value to the team? So one of my sales guys used to be a loan officer. The other sales guy used to be in the short sales. The other guy used to be pre-foreclosures. The other guy used to be a realtor, right? And so combining all their powers inside of this room, it's like, dude, we got a loan problem. Boom, dude has experience. We got a short sale issue. Dude has experience. We got pre-foreclosure issue. Dude has experience. And over and over and over, we were able to do that by strengthening the team. So that's probably one of the like superpowers I can tell somebody like, as you're hiring, what other skill sets do they have besides they're just willing to bang phones for you?
That makes sense. So when you hire salespeople, so I've done both ways, but building up teams, is it like how much training do you give them before you put them on the phones? What does that look like when you onboard a new sales guy?
Yeah. We'll put them on the phones the first day. We'll have different quality leads, old follow-up leads from different channels that are not as hot as some other ones. So they'll talk to the lesser than leads their first week. But I put them on a 45-day plan. I need you to put 45K in projected income on the board in your first 45 days. And I got that from the Army. We used to get in trouble in the Army, do 45 and 45 days of extra duty, 45 days restriction to post. And so I just carried that over to my sales team. And so we put them on 45 and 45 projected income in your first 45 days. And then the longer you work here, the higher that number gets to make sure you're staying on track. But we put them on the phone basically immediately.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it was one of the things I fucked up when I started my first business because I was like, I'm gonna train this person for a week. I'm gonna teach them everything about sales. And then by the time they actually got on the phones, they built it up as this like insurmountable thing in their head, and they'd all burn out.
No, and then every single day I do a training with them. So we train about 90 minutes every morning. We have a sales huddle at 10:30 where we go over yesterday's numbers, what we're thankful for, things we can help the team out with. And then we do like an hour-long training every day. That's the difference. Is like we got 50 contracts on the board. That doesn't come from just like putting 5 random dudes on the phone. Right? So we are literally training every day, over and over and over. What's up, Lawrence? Over and over and over with the people to continuous improvement. Right? I keep going back to core value. It's one of our core values, continuous improvement. Did we get better every single day that we train? And for us, the answer is yes. So the 5 acquisition guys, my sales manager, Aaliyah, and myself, every day we meet at 10:30, go over yesterday's numbers, and then do an extended training.
Nice. Do you do like one-on-one sales training with those people too? Or do you guys just focus on the group?
Recently, we started doing a little bit more like call reviews one-on-one, but we really like the group thing. We just work better. I work better in group. I found that out about myself. I work better in group, and I like to get ideas and stimulate everybody. Because one thing I don't want to do is spend all day training one person at a time. I got to do it all together. That's just how I rock. Now, my sales manager will do more individualized training with them, but for me, I'm all in the group.
Yeah, no, I love that, man. So what do you do if like you have a sales guy, so he's been like a top performer, high level performer for a while, and then he kind of hits like a cold streak or kind of gets in a slump? Do you have any strategies or anything to help him kind of get out of that or get back to form?
Usually that just happens because he's not following up enough, right? Or like a lot of our businesses are very young and we don't have mature processes and big CRMs that we built up over years. That's what most wholesale companies look like. So like you get a guy in, he smashes it for like a month, and then he doesn't, he's not killing it anymore. It's probably a lead thing, not really a him thing. Today he's locking up our top guy here. He's locking up a deal from early December today. Right? And if a guy came in today, was doing well, and then next week, let's win a championship, and he comes in next week, he doesn't have that. We call it the orchard farm. Right? He doesn't have that orchard farm of leads built up, right? And so his follow up is not, he can't perform the same way as the guy that's been here longer because he doesn't have the same amount of leads. So
Right.
I haven't had anybody really hit cold streak like that because we pump leads in like crazy, and our guys have a ton of leads to follow up with.
Nice. That's badass.
What's up, Casey?
Awesome, man. So, man, yeah, I'm excited, man. Yeah, so
yeah, great questions. What else you got?
Thanks, man. Yeah, so when do people know? So, say they've been wholesaling for a little bit. When do you think is the right time for them to start hiring, or when do they know it's the right time for them to start hiring?
Dude, honestly, everybody's so different, and that's why I like going to masterminds because like you never really know where you are in your business truly yourself. You got to get it from other people, right? Like we had our first hire because I had a wholesale business before, and we have a different one now. Our first hire was September 5th, and I knew I needed to hire because I was making all the calls. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, dude, like I can't keep making all the calls. And Jesus is cheap, so he's like, no, just keep calling, bro. Like it's all good. Like I'll do all the back end work. I'm like, bro, I'm hiring somebody. I don't care what you say. I got too many leads. Right? Like I can't even follow up with these guys. So I hired a closer, and then we kept going. We kept going with another acquisitions person until Jesus was a little overwhelmed with Dispo. And truly, that's not his seat. So to go back to EOS, right people, right seat. He's really a COO and an ops guy. So I was making him do Dispo because it was just two of us in a room. All right, I got to act. You got Dispo. We know you're not supposed to do Dispo, but this is what you're doing for now. Right. And as soon as I found my Dispo manager, and I was able to put him in ops, now we have the right person on the sales seat, right person in ops, right person in Dispo. And from there, you have, your growth and your scaling. But when's the right time to hire? Man, you got to know what your strengths and weaknesses are. Like you've read the book. So it's like, for us, our company's called Certified Closing. So we have the Certified Closing way, right? The way we hired was different. We hired people that had more experience in certain positions that we just didn't to fill gaps because we know we're rock stars in these other areas. Right. Most people are not good at training sales. I am. So I don't have to hire a sales trainer to come in and train my team. Someone else would have to do that to keep their guys performing. Right. Different voice in the locker room is what one of our friends, Tim Harris, said to me from Phil Jackson. Is like, I still know who I bring in instead of sales guys. I bring in appraisers. I bring in other agents. Because I want to change my lingo on the phone because we're doing a lot of on-market transactions. So I bring those kind of guys in to help innovate our sales process and sales scripts. But I don't bring in salespeople. I don't need somebody to do that part of our business. So as you're growing your team, where are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? Everybody's going to be a little bit different on what they need to hire and who they need to come in to continued education.
I love that. Yeah, if anybody else has any questions, feel free to drop them. It looks like we have one. I think
if they don't reach 45 and 45.
Yeah. So what do you do if they don't reach the 45 and 45?
They're fired. That's. I mean, you can't learn on my dime, and that's why some people do like longer. They'll give them like 90 days, 60 days, 90 days. Man, 45K is sometimes just 2 deals. I need to get 2 contracts in 6 weeks. If you can't do that, and especially because we're training every day.
Right. And you're providing with leads
every day, and you're training with one of the best sales trainers in the world. There's no reason. If you can't do it, bro, then this is not for you. Because I know that I gave you the correct training. We gave you the right systems, right? Every day you have all the support. Our sales manager, my friend RJ, right? RJ Bates, he talks a lot of junk about people having like the fake underwriter and stuff.
Yeah.
And like we have an underwriter in the office for you. So like on top of you just having to learn how to say the words on the script, you don't even have to comp. You can literally go to our underwriter and get the offer. All you have to do is go through this thing, get the offer from Aaliyah, our sales manager. She'll give you the offer after she comps it for your ass.
Yeah.
And then you can go make the offer. And so it's kind of dummy proof. So if you can't do 45, it's like probably wasn't for you in the first place.
Right. That makes sense. I feel like you're giving them all the tools and everything they need to be successful. So, I mean,
exactly.
Definitely sounds fair.
One of our new guys just hopped on, Khalil. What up, Khalil? So he's on his 45-day plan, right?
Oh,
and
nice.
He got his first. He's been here 2 weeks and got his first contract last week.
Fucking right, dude.
3 weeks, got his first contract last week. Looks like a 20 burger, right? So it's like it's a good deal. You know what I mean? We don't lock up 5K deals. All of our deals are 20Ks.
Love that. Yeah, that's awesome, man. It looks like somebody asked, what are some topics you cover in your training?
I like to really, second. It depends on where we are. So I like to train from the bottom up. So we'll go through and train like how to make an offer, how to extract more information from the homeowner. 20 burger, let's go. We like to train through motivation, train through obstacles, how to make the offer, all that stuff, right? Like I used to do a lot from just like top down. And I don't realize like a lot of people can have a conversation, but can they close? And can they actually extract information in a way that moves the sale forward? So we'll cover a bunch of different topics. I mean, as far as like tonality, cadence, I mean, there's a ton. Today we talked about different words and verbiage that we want to implement instead of certain. We use certain words inside of our script now. We want to eliminate some of them and upgrade the verbiage. So, it's a ton.
Yeah, that was some great topics.
Good question.
So, yeah, that's a great one. And then, so going back to what you mentioned before, you guys trying to change your verbiage because you're doing more on-market deals. What other changes or what else have you guys had to shift to do the on-market deals as opposed to off-market?
Yeah, because what we found is, especially where we're doing deals inside like Harris County, Tarrant, Collin, Bear, El Paso, Austin area, like the median home price is just like $500K. So I'm not talking to some like desperate hillbilly in the middle of nowhere, Mississippi, that would just give me their house for $5,000. Like, so I gotta like match like the tonality. We gotta like have some vocabulary for them sometimes, right? So in improving our closers verbiage is something that's been very important to us. And so whenever you start talking about high value sales, like we have a novation property that's worth over $3 million that we're marketing right now. Like you're not getting that dude on contract from just asking 3 questions and being on the phone with him for 5 minutes. It just ain't happening. Right? And so we've had to change some of the verbiage up a little bit, and that's why I bring the appraiser into the mix, and I bring the brokers into the mix because they just use different words. It's a different education level typically when you're looking at someone that has wealth and a more expensive house. It's just a little bit different, right? Of how you're going to talk to them. So we've brought some outside sources in to help us improve that vocabulary, so we can change a few words inside of our script, and then we just use words that make you feel good. Instead of saying, I like to say like some words are written in red, some words are written in green. Like the word fees is just a word that's written in red. The word responsible is just written in green. Yeah. It makes you feel good to say certain words, and some things raise a flag. And 100%. So we remove some of these red words and put more green words inside of our script in order to make it feel better over the phone, because we do 100% virtual. Not going to your house, not knocking on your door. So I already have to overcome that. Yeah. Right? At least make it feel good over the phone.
No, I love that. Yeah. So that's like, I love how granular you get with it, because a lot of people don't think of it that deep. So you guys, is that just with sales? Or is that with every part of the business you kind of?
All of it, man. All of it. My partner is crazy with operations. And like I say, he's 6 Sigma certified, man. He wants to do root cause analysis, gap analysis in every single part of our business. We have a process map for everything, SOP for everything. Like if you come work here, there's just structure. And so you can't mess it up. The only thing that can be messed up is my side of it, the sales side. And that's why we go deep on sales, to give you the best training possible. Sometimes it's as easy as calling, asking them how much they want, and locking it up. Sometimes it is. It's very simple. Like Travis is just like a mutual friend of ours. He's just very much like, you want for it, I can't do that. That's so true. And that doesn't happen at 500K plus most of the time. It's 150 and under, right? And we have fun locking those up too. And so it is what it is. But we just carry the same process because I don't want to create bad habits.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's huge. So last question I got for you. What is so how did you attract this? Sounds like you have some like great key players, some A players, and like in the higher roles in your company. How did you attract them?
I knew, like I said, I knew most of them from Instagram. So they just followed on IG. What up, Joseph? Followed on IG, man. When they saw the ad, they filled it out. We did an interview, and they were a good fit based on core values and work ethic. One thing about us, we always great people that work here, but we all want to make a bunch of dough. So it's like at the same time, we all want to make a bunch of money, and so we all work really hard every single day. Right? Like yesterday, I put 13 hours in. Like we got, and one of my guys was here later than me. I was leaving at like 9, and there's another guy like just still calling leads at 9 p.m. So like everybody here just wants to work hard, and that's one of that work ethic is just super important to be able to weed out in the beginning.
Right. No, that's huge, man.
But to answer your question, man, really, it's just Instagram, and then just being consistent. Something that was said at our mastermind this last week is someone could buy your company, but they can't buy your track record. And like, I've been wholesaling for a minute, and I haven't deviated from that company. And I love wholesale. I'm always going to wholesale. We'll buy houses and flip houses and all that, but like, I identify as a wholesaler. I like it. It's just fine for me. You don't have to like it. Not your business. Not your life. And people that know I'm a wholesaler, they want to come wholesale.
Right.
And so like that's what we do.
I love it, man. So I know you mentioned novations too. Can you kind of get into what novations are and like how they compare to regular wholesale deals?
Yeah, a couple different ways to do them. I like doing them one way in particular. We have done some of the other ways. It's just not my favorite. I like to just lock up properties that need a little bit of work and try and sell them to FHA buyers without putting any work into them. If I can put it in one sentence, right? It's locking up a deal for less than what an as-is comp is, and then selling that deal on market to an end buyer that's going to use a conventional loan. And I don't like putting no work into them. We've done some where we put work into them and sold those properties to hit FHA guidelines, but I don't really subscribe to like big flips and stuff like that. In fact, I've lost a bunch of money trying to flip houses. It's not my business model.
Yeah.
We'll still flip some. We'll flip a bunch this year, but we'll be very selective with the ones that we flip now, because we just had some bad ones in the past.
Yeah.
So I really like the novation model because even when we do put money into them, it's typically 20 grand or less, nothing crazy. Sometimes it's only, $2K, $5K, right, to get a higher repair value. But it's way less capital intensive than flipping houses. But on the wholesale side, we're able to. There's two styles: novation and on market cash. We pitch everything to as a marketing company. So we sell all the 50 contracts. 90% of them are on the market for dispo. Our dispositions process is insane. Actually, I'd like to talk about that probably a lot more than anything else.
Yeah, I love talking about dispo because I feel like not enough
we
people
go crazy on dispo, dude. We had a call last night. I just realized my flyer was spelled wrong. It said dipso and not dispo. And I was like, I just realized it today, and like all these people freaking commented on it yesterday. I don't know if they noticed or not. I don't think anybody really cared because no one said anything until today. It was pretty funny. But one of my dispo agents, he does strictly Facebook dispositions. He's already locked up $60K this month, just through Facebook groups. And he was sharing his process yesterday. We had about 40-ish people on the call. So we dispo on Facebook. We have a team of about 6 people that just do all outbound calls to cash buyers, depending on the area. We use Investor Lift. We're cartel bosses on Investor Lift, and we list everything on the MLS for dispo. So like if you have a buyer, if there's a buyer in this county, I say it like Liam Neeson, we will find you. We will sell you a house.
I love that. So what are some of the big mistakes that you see people make when it comes to dispo?
Not getting the deal in front of enough people, man. And also just not having a deal. They just don't have a deal. They never had a deal. And I don't know why this isn't selling. You never had a deal. A lot of people lock up contracts that look cool because it looks cool to lock up a contract. All the glories in acquisitions. Yeah. Like we need to do a better job of celebrating our dispo people because like we lock up a deal on acquisition, man. We got the money gun. We're wearing dog masks. We spraying money. We popping freaking bottles. That deal doesn't even sell in a month later. Yeah. Right. But then when it does sell, we get freaking 30 grand hits the bank account. But it was okay, sweet. We got the money.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. And it's like you're actually getting paid.
Yeah.
You don't even celebrate that part sometimes. It's pretty wild.
I wonder why that is. I wonder if it's just because it's so stressful. You don't know, something could pop up. It could be title issues or something.
The personalities, bro.
Yeah.
Of the people. The sales guys, you got to keep them riled up. Right?
Yeah.
And so they lock up a deal. It's a big deal. We sell about 60% of our contracts, right? And so out of 10, we'll sell 6. There's 4 of them that are going to fall out. But them other 4, we still sprayed the money gun. We still popped the freaking confetti, right? We have a good time with it. But they need that piece, right? To go out there and just bang phones for 10 hours a day. Dispo is usually a little different, a little more sophistication to the role. A lot more operations to the role. It's a little bit different work. Like if you think about if you're at a party, right? Your acquisition guys are the ones popping the bottles and freaking ordering the bottles, right? And Dispo will take a shot with you. You know what I mean? But they ain't the ones doing all. They ain't got the camera on. You know, they not. It's the role. It's just a different personality type from what I've seen.
Nah, that makes sense. I love it, man. Well, man, I'm super excited to share the stage with you in less than a week, pretty much exactly a week from tomorrow. So, man, I know we got the link down there against live.wholesalingsyndicate.com. Use promo code Naaman. You get 20% off. And we never actually fixed the early bird pricing, so it's like still less than $50. We decided to just leave it there because I just caught that the other day. But yeah, so it's less $50. A bunch of great speakers, a bunch of great networking opportunities. Anything else you want to share, man, or anything final thoughts you have?
For that local crowd in San Antonio, if you're not gonna be in this room next week in San Antonio, you're absolutely missing out. This is the place to be next week. We're gonna have all the best freaking real estate investors all over Texas, right there in San Antonio. You need to pull up, meet the people that are actually doing the deals. You never know who you're gonna meet at these events. You might meet your future business partner, your next lender, the next person that's gonna sell you a deal. Right, the person is going to give you that piece of information that's going to make you another $100,000 this year. Get to the event, get the ticket, get in the room, and it might just change your life.
100%, man. Like I said, like my advice is just go there with an intention. Like go there if you're looking for a business partner, if you're looking for a hire, if you're looking to network, to just know what you're looking for. If there's one thing in your business, like, hey, this is the area I'm struggling with, just go there with that intention, and I guarantee you, if you have that like in your mind consciously, you're probably going to find the answer.
Hell yeah. Well, hell yeah, brother. Thanks for having me on, man. This was fun, dude. Great conversation. Looking forward to pouring into your people next week.
Of course, man. You have to do this again soon. And yeah, brother, I will see you soon.
All right. Later.